Place Energy School. I want to welcome my Facebook family, my YouTube family, and Instagram family. Normally on Tuesday nights, we have a live Reiki healing meditation. But Robin, my co-hostess, is away on vacation. She has escaped. And I said to myself, I could do a live Reiki meditation, but instead I figure, you know what? Let me do Ask the Reflexologist because there are many questions people have about alternative healing and what you can do to self-heal. And I'm very passionate about the whole world of holistic medicine. I have been a practitioner, holistic practitioner, certified reflexologist, certified energy medicine practitioner. See if you could say that really fast. Since 2006. And over the course of 15 years, I have probably given over 10,000 healing sessions. So I have a lot of knowledge I love to share with people, especially when people want to activate their inner healer and to heal. And who comes seeking someone like me? People who have done all the traditional medicine, and there hasn't been a lot of, I would say, support or help, or people who are on a lot of medication, or they're tired of doing surgeries, or what's worse, when they talk to their doctor was saying, I don't know how to help you, which is really true. And one of the things that I have observed from all my years of practice, it's important not only to heal physically, one has to heal emotionally and spiritually. So what does that mean? The healing physically is obvious, but more times than not, illnesses is caused by an emotion, maybe anger, resentment, and feel free to jump in if you have questions about alternative healing. I'm more than happy to answer if you have something that you would like to learn. So one of the things that I've noticed as a healer over the course of the last 15 years, everyone comes in. What do I specialize? I say people with digestive issues, chronic pain, they need to have their hormones balanced. Those are the three major sets of people I see pretty much regularly at the healing place in Medfield. And each time somebody comes in with an issue, we always start off with talking about where they are energetically, because people know when they are uncomfortable and they're not feeling well, but very rarely do they understand why the physical symptoms, how has the disconnect from one's body creates I would say, creates a dysfunction or disconnect. That's even a better word. A disconnect in a body, and all of a sudden the people are not feeling well. Here's a good example today. As I was talking to a client, she is having a lot of, I would say, restless leg syndrome. She has a lot of what I call kind of like arthritic gout in her joints. And I said to her, have you noticed there's a particular pattern when you have a flare up? Do you feel like there's something going on either in your family or perhaps at work, which she does not work outside of the house? She has two small children. Have you noticed when you are aggravated, does it trigger pain in the body? This is something that I want her to really think about, because the more you recognize what is going on in your body, hi Chase, the more you recognize where the disconnect is, the healing not only has to be done from a physical aspect, which is to me easy to do with reflexology and chakra balancing, but how do you connect to your soul, to your spirit? And you need all three components to activate healing, because more or less people who heal on a physical aspect, they're popping a pill, they're following their doctor regimen, which is fine because traditional medicine has its place with all healing. But unfortunately, traditional medicine does not address perhaps the nutrition component, the energy component, and what is it that might be the root of the problem. So I notice everybody who comes, they have issues, like, for example, digestive issues. The energetic profile of somebody that have digestive issues are usually people who are people pleasers. They are the rescuers. They are the go-to person when people need help. So they have a tendency to always be on call. So these people deplete their energy, and there's nothing left for them. So think about it. When you start to feel stress and anxious, where do you feel it in your body? This is key because most people don't take the time to observe where they're feeling their pains. You feel anxiousness, which is usually in the diaphragm area, which is located right here under the hands and the balls of your hands and also the balls of the feet. And so if people want this quick tip and how do you alleviate the butterflies in your diaphragm, you walk across this line this way and this way. You could go this direction like this, and this is going to release tension. All right, that's one. And how long you do this? If you have time, do it for a whole minute. And another thing you could do to help alleviate stress is work on the spine. Your spine has 22 sets of nerve endings that's attached to every function, major function in your body. And where's the spines on your hands? It's in the thumbs. It's on the outside, which is called the lateral side of your thumbs. And if you have a little lotion like this, let me grab this. I want you to massage the outside of both of your thumbs. Coat your thumbs like this on both, and I want you to rotate. So as you're rotating up, I want you to really notice where is it painful. This is going to be key. The top of your thumb is closer to your head. Around here is your neck. This is your T1 to, let's see if I remember it well, T8. This is your lumbar. This is your coccyx area. So basically it ends from here to here. So you want to massage both thumbs because each thumb is one half of your spine. By doing this every day, I would say minute, 2 minutes, massage, or you could thumb walk. And I'm going to do a quick demonstration. So you could use your thumb or you can use your finger and you're going to walk. And every time you take an increment, just notice where it hurts and stay there for another, let's say 30 seconds until you feel like the pain is releasing. This is really key when you're doing reflexology because most people who do reflexology, they do it way too fast and they don't really notice where are their pain spots. So as you're doing touching the spine on both of your thumbs, this is also going to release energy that could be stuck in the spine, and also the energy might be starving that nerve ending. And then after you're done, go get some water. How often to do this? Do it several times. You can even do it several times a day. Will you overdo it by doing this several? Not necessarily, because you're not doing I would say 40-step protocol. You're doing what I call a spot treatment. So I don't believe anyone could overdo it. So just be aware when you start to have emotional issues come up, notice where it's coming up in your body. So those are the digestive people. Chronic pain. What I've noticed about chronic pain, these are the people that, in fact, it's very similar to the digestive issues where they're taking it in their gut. So think about where your pain is. Is it in your shoulders, in your hips? Because the shoulders and the hips are your burden points. More men have it in their shoulders and more women have it in their hips. And I don't know really particularly why, other than men shoulder the burden of finances and keeping the house. And as of today, more women are doing the same thing. And sometimes they're doing it more than the men. So depending on where you feel burdened, just as ask yourself, do you feel burnt out? And the more you ask yourself questions, the more you could pinpoint it. So how do you do this? Sit quietly, meditate if you can. Find a place where you know you're going to be undisturbed. If you choose, you could play music, or you could do it in the quiet. Or best of all, what you need to do is focus on your breath. The breathing, a lot of times, will release tension in the body, because a lot of times health issues come from holding on to so much emotions or so many burdens in your life, you just don't know what to do about it. Okay, Roger's asking me, you can heal up and fit in my tough working pod. You could hear my feet on my leg for healing. Okay, you could heal up and fit in my tough working pod. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying, Roger, so you're going to have to help me a little bit. Okay, Dan? Um, so what do is learn to read the messages in your body. We all have a tendency to pretend we don't hear what we are feeling. And especially, this is something I talk about in my book, Know Your Chakras. I think in lesson 4, I really go into how to begin to listen to your body's cues. Most of the time, I would say people have a tendency to ignore what you're feeling. And by overriding these emotions, your body's going to have a really difficult time telling you what is wrong if you don't listen. And then once you hear the message, what's really important to follow through, really follow through. Because so many times everybody's trained, well, I don't have time to address this now. And then you wonder why the issue becomes worse. And before you know it, it's full blown, and you run into the doctors a lot more than you should. So one of my clients today, that we finally broke her cyclical vomiting syndrome. So right before she gets her menstrual cycle, she has a surge of hormones, which causes her to throw up. So she gets migraines in her stomach. And when she gets migraines in her stomach, because her hormones are out of whack, she ends up with her head in the toilet, which is not a lot of fun. And one of the things, as we've been working together now for a year, I said to her, from what I'm feeling, because part of my healing process, I'm fairly intuitive and I can sense what the body wants to tell me, how to use my hands on the person. She has a lot of allergies. So when you have a lot of histamine problems going on, it creates too many white blood cells in the body. When you create too many white blood cells, the mast cells that supposed to be produced to build your immune system goes haywire. And it can't determine if the pathogens are coming from outside the body or is it in the body already. So the white blood cells are really going nuts trying to figure out how to calm the body down. So what happens a lot of times, especially for those people who have it seems like endless allergies that you never seem to get over what it is that you are allergic to. So what happens a lot of times is once you have that allergy reaction, the body becomes confused. It does not know what to do. So usually when I see this one particular person, we do a lot of reflexology, because what I found reflexology is helpful for is to reset the body. Basically, I'm resetting your program here, because right here and your nervous system down your spine becomes confused. And by resetting the body, it gives the body a chance to say, oh man, what was that all about? So what happens is, oh, let me grab my reflexology feet. Hang on. So here's my pair of reflexology feet. So as I work on the body, and if anyone's interested in purchasing, I have this in my store at the Healing Place Energy School. All the information, you have 15,000 nerve endings, and all this information, as I'm pressing strategically, people ask me all the time, can I do this? Would this be effective? Or you go the other way, doesn't matter. Yes and no. When you're doing this or massaging your feet, you're touching everything and you're also touching nothing at the same time. Does that sound kind of odd? Well, what you're doing is you're skimming the reflex points. So there's nothing that you're doing that's focusing what ails you. So as I'm pressing, information's going through the peripheral nerves. You got obviously billions of nerves in your body. It travels up in the central nervous system, which is on the side of your feet. That's your spine right there, up to the brain. So once it's in the brain, information is then relayed, received, and it starts to go the other way and flush down and send messages to that body part for self-correction. So one of the things I noticed, it doesn't really take a lot of reflexology sessions to reset the body. I'm always amazed. Okay. Anyone have questions? Feel free to ask me. I give a chance, here's your chance to ask me anything about reflexology or energy medicine. Okay, take another sip. So by recognizing, and what do I do suggest to people who to help address the emotional and the spiritual component? The emotional part is starting to be mindful. Notice what causes the disconnect in the body, and then do something about it. Because there's so many people, again, they get the messages, but because they're too busy, they don't have time. So they have a tendency to ignore what the body is telling. And then what happens a lot of times after that, the body breaks down. In fact, it crashes. So that's coming back. And so, how do you honor your spirit? I'm going to say it like this: you got to be selfish and put yourself first. You really do. You have to put yourself above everybody else, because what happens if you are the people pleaser, the go-to person, the problem solver? At the end of the day, you got nothing left for yourself. And so you wonder why you're crumbling. And this is how pain, illnesses, diseases begin. It's almost guaranteed it's going to happen within time if you continuously ignore your body. Another thing that we also do, we don't watch our diet. So when we're stressed, we do stress eating. So you're reaching out for things that's causing inflammation. So if you like your ice cream, your crackers, your beer, your wine, your meat, your sugar, learn to cut back. I never tell anybody to cut out. Reduce it so it's comfortable for your body, because you want to give your liver a chance to catch up and to clean you out, your liver and your kidneys. Move your body, go and exercise, walk around the block, do anything to move your energy. Your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is your first line of defense. It's what wakes up your white blood cells, your spleen, your tonsils, your lymph nodes, which is the major ones are in your throats, your armpits, and your groin. In order for them to be activated, besides being sick, you got to move. Your lymph nodes have no ability to move on its own. So if you live in front of the TV, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. 3, manage your stress. You know what pushes your buttons. minimize it if you can. A lot of time when you are stressed and anxious, notice you only attract more stress and anxiety. So it becomes a repetitious circle going around and around, and you wonder why you cannot catch a break. All right. 4, being mindful. Really honor your spirit. Don't wait until you totally break down and then do something about it. Because once you break down, more times than not, it's too late. Everyone has the ability to activate their inner healer. Everyone. We have gotten so used to giving away our powers to traditional medicine, we have forgotten we could do things on our own, preventative. And you could do things in a supportive way by loving yourself, caring about yourself enough to actually do something about it. So, those are my tips on how to prevent disease and illnesses and quiet down pain. Because pain is really trying to relay messages to you. Are you willing to do something when you hear the pain? I mean, right now, there's so many, COVID is rising again. And there's so many theories about why this is happening. You could talk about the mask, you could talk about the vaccination, but what is it that, as a collective, universal illness, I guess, disease, why is this happening everywhere? So this is something I ask. So lastly, let's do 3 cleansing breath to just release excess energy that's stuck in your diaphragm. And the more you could breathe, the more where your diaphragm and your stomach is moving. Think of it this way: you're releasing negativity. So I got to catch myself and be very aware throughout the day to breathe where my diaphragm is moving. So this way it gives my body a chance to come back to balance. So let's do 3 cleansing breaths here. We're going to breathe into the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to breathe in as deeply and exhale as deeply as possible. So here we go. Take breath number 1 and 2. And exhale. 2, breathe in, push out as hard as you can. And so 360, here we go. And lastly, breathe in and push out as deeply as possible. Just be in this space for a second. Quiet down your breathing and just notice, do you feel lighter? Do you feel the stress and anxiety releasing? And if you still feel tension, feel free to do that breathing exercises as many times you need until you could feel the negativity leaving your body. Okay. Good job, everybody. I want to thank you so much for being with me tonight, for following me, subscribing. What else do people do? Follow, subscribe, and just be one of my readers, or perhaps you're one of my clients. I am totally blessed and honored to have you part of my life. And if you feel that this video has helped you, please share it with your friends. We're here to build a community of healers. And a healer does not mean professional healers, but awaken your inner healer. And that's the reason why I'm so passionate about teaching, not only here, but my Healing Place Energy School, which I'm about to launch in the next week, I hope. I have 25 kick butt courses and 125 lessons that I've created to help you to be back in your body. Something I could do for myself to release back pain and to help with neural issues. The breathing exercise that I just did with you is going to release that, because energy gets trapped in the body. It really has no idea where to go or how to move. You need to be your own traffic cop and move that energy. See, people think just because you have pain, you could be a victim. That's not true. Pain is just that your energy has stopped flowing. That breathing exercise is going to help you to move in and out again. All right, honey buns. Join me next Tuesday for a live Reiki healing meditation. And I haven't thought of a subject. I'm always coming up with things at the last moment. And if there's something that you would like to learn, please feel free to put it in the box. I'll put my contact information. And don't be shy. Don't be shy. All right, be well, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. This is Helen Chinlu from the Healing Place Energy School. I bid you well.